move on with the very first regulatory authority of USA, which is US FDA. Now again, there is a very very important question which comes in either in the job vacancy ka evaluation test, yeah, even in the interview part, which is CDER, CBER, and CDRH ka, these three departments. So US FDA is, suppose एक घर है, ठीक है, we have a house, alright, this is a house. इस हाउस के अंदर वी हैव डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स, जैसे हमारे 1 BHK होता है, सो वी हैव बेडरूम, हॉल, किचन. इन द सेम वे यूएसएफडी इज अ बिग होम, इट इज अ बिग हाउस, उसके अंदर अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स होते हैं. सो वी हैव 3 डिपार्टमेंट्स विच इज CDER, CBER एंड CDRH. नाउ सपोज आई विल टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ नेबुलाइजिंग डिवाइस. सपोज यू हैव अ नेबुलाइजर. नेबुलाइजर के अंदर हम लोग ड्रग डालते हैं. वी ऑल नो, सपोज अ पेशेंट suffers from asthma. He goes to the physician. Physician will give him a nebulizing device. You will put a drug into this. Drug का नाम भी बता देता हूँ. You might have heard about this drug called as Deolin. So we put Deolin in that nebulizer, machine, which is essentially the medical device. And that nebulizing device will create nebulizing particles of this drug. And then you inhale those nebulizing particles and you feel better, you breathe better. All right, so here the Deolin is called as drug, whereas this nebulizer, this device, is called as medical device. So just try to remember the difference between medical device and this is called as drug. This is our main drug, and both the things combined would be called as combination product. So all the regulations which are required to cater this particular drug, or any drug for that matter of fact, would be under the CDER, which is the Center for Drug Evaluation and Research. So जो भी regulations है, जो भी important चीज़ है, जो USA के अंदर this drug को regulate करने के लिए, even in pre-market or post-marketing approval, जितनी भी चीज़ें required है, CDER will look after that. Now what about this nebulizing device? This is a medical device, right? For medical device there is another department which is called a Center for Drug and Radiological Health. So all the regulations which are needed to market a particular medical device in the country would be looked upon by CDRH. And then we have Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research, which is called as CBER. Now what are biologics? Biologics, we all know COVID-19 vaccine thi, right? COVID-19 vaccine is the best example of biological product. Biological products are those products which require a certain set of conditions or certain temperature to maintain their stability and potency. So these are biologic products. So all the biologic products के regulations जो भी country के अंदर चाहिए, for the proper approval or the proper marketing of that drug in the country would be looked upon by CBER. Then these timelines are again very very important. US FDA के timelines भर के पूछी जाएंगी. You go to any PV का interview, they will ask you the timelines. Now I just explained you about expectedness. I just explained you about what is meant by serious ICSR. I also explained you about suspected adverse events. So just try to remember, seriousness के अंदर भी, serious ICSRs के अंदर भी हम लोग 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड करते हैं. Either the ICSR fulfills the seriousness criteria of fatal and life threatening, these 2 seriousness criteria, and बचे हुए seriousness criteria दूसरे कैटेगरी में हम लोग डाल देते हैं. These are serious में भी serious वाले कि fatal मतलब पेशेंट की जान जा रही है डायरेक्टली, life threatening मतलब it might cause death in the patient. So these are serious of the serious events. And other seriousness criteria are also important. Hospitalization हो गया, आपका congenital anomaly हो गया, these are also important. So we categorize the ICSRs into two categories, serious ICSRs into two categories. First one, the ICSRs which have fatal or life-threatening seriousness criteria, and those which come under other seriousness criteria. So what is the timeline? सबसे पहले जब कोई सीरियस सस्पेक्टेड एडवर्स रिएक्शन होगा, यानी कि द ICSR which fulfills this second criteria जो fulfill करेगा, I will just rub this. ये जो सेकेंड सीरियसनेस क्राइटेरिया जो भी फुलफिल करेगा, विद इन 15 कैलेंडर डेज दैट ICSR रिपोर्ट शुड बी सबमिटेड टू द रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी. Those ICSR reports which fulfill this fatal and life threatening wale seriousness criteria, those ICSR reports should be submitted within 7 calendar days. Now I will explain you, don't worry about that. And the follow up reports, कोई अगर follow up info आई in future, any relevant additional information, be it significant info or insignificant info, within 15 calendar days you need to report that to the concerned regulatory authorities. Now what is 7 calendar days and 15 calendar days? I will explain you with a very simple example. Suppose आज की डेट है 21st of April. Suppose a patient reports that he consumed a drug A, एंड ड्रग ए कंज्यूम करने की वजह से उसको हुआ, फॉर एग्जांपल, कार्डियक अरिथमिया. The cardiac arrhythmia has the potential to cause death in that patient. So this event would be considered as a life-threatening condition. We have assessed that this event is a life-threatening event, so we considered the life-threatening as a seriousness criteria, and this ICSR report became serious ICSR report involving this fatal and life-threatening wali seriousness criteria. So we all know कि for fatal and life-threatening ICSR reports 7 calendar days के अंदर हमें जो है इसका रिपोर्ट सबमिट करना है. So 21st April को ये रिपोर्ट हुआ था, so this would be day 0, and from day 0 we would be calculating the 7 calendar days. So within 28th of April, 28th of April से पहले ये ICSR रिपोर्ट सबमिट होना चाहिए anyhow. You got the point how to calculate this calendar days वाला calculation.